Previously on The Last Door. Wakefield and Kaufman followed the only clue they had on Devitt's location, the recipient of Anthony's disturbing letter, Alexandre Dupree. Wakefield visited the East Hill Asylum to gather some information on Dupree's path. Wakefield discovered that Dupree was the leader of a secret society known as the Playwright. He learned that they practiced rituals with the goal of peering through the veil, the line that separates the common world from an outer void full of horrors. One of East Hill's patients turned out to be a member of the Playwright, but she escaped the asylum. Wakefield and Kaufman followed her to her hideout, a cabin in the mountains, when suddenly a big flock of birds appeared. I must forget nothing. Everything must be set. When the time comes. And I am visited again. For a moment, the sky was dark. We heard the calls of 1,000 birds, but another sound rose above them, a sound I cannot describe. What? What just happened in here? Where is Miss Khan? We are too late. It is ashes. Sorry. The windows are covered with wooden planks. It looks as if she were trying to keep someone from entering. Or something from getting out. Chalk. A circle, drawn hastily on the floor. She thought it would prevent what she knew was about to happen, but she was wrong. I do not know what to make of all this. I do. Hey, that's not even me that time. I mean, I can do that, that's fine. Are you alright, Kaufman? It is nothing, mein Freund. Just a bit of a cold. Now, mein Freund, I think we should talk. In light of the events we have recently witnessed, the matter cannot be delayed any further. You must make an important decision. It is not yet too late to go back to our daily lives. If you do not want to continue, you must forget all about your patient, Jeremiah Dearest. You will have to keep yourself, or you will have to keep to yourself everything you have learned about the mystery of this disappearance and never talk about it again. But should you wish to continue this search, you will need to accept the consequences, whatever they may be. Please do not take this decision lightly. The path ahead is not without peril. You know my answer already, Kaufman. I must know what happened to Devon. So be it then. As you may have already realized, this matter involving your patient transcends the limits of psychiatry as we know it. We are not dealing with the effects of trauma or the demons of the subconscious, at least not in the terms we are used to. We are dealing with something old, something dark, a sinister truth that has been buried deep for generations. This man, Alexander Brave, and his organization, I think they seek to uncover these secrets, and I fear they might have already. Miss Corn's fate, whatever it was, must be related somehow. But my knowledge of this area is simply not sufficient. We must pay a visit to an old friend, someone I never thought I would want to see again. The man who introduced me to the extended scientific field of the occult. My mentor, Professor Adam Wright. Season 2, Episode 2, My Dearest Visitor. Wickbert. The Right Manner. I doubt he is away at this time of day. Perhaps he cannot hear us from the front. Let us try the back door. Miss Oakwood. She is the manor's housekeeper. Yes, who is it? Good morning, Miss Oakwood. Don't you remember me? Why, Dr. Kaufman! Bless my soul, it's been so long, I hardly recognize you. How nice to see you again. Allow me to introduce my colleague, Dr. John Wakefield. Is the professor at home? We would like to see him. Sorry. Why, yes, doctor. Of course. I am quite forgetting myself. Let me take you to him. It is really good of you to come. He receives so few visitors these days on account of his condition. His condition? Oh, sir, I am right sorry. I thought you knew. The professor, he suffers from an ailment afflicting his brain. He is now entirely confined to his bed. Professor Wright, you have visitors. One of them is your old friend. Look! Look! Do you recognize him? It is Johann. Professor, your old pupil. I reckon he does remember you, Johann. It has been a long time since I have seen him so excited. I will leave you two to talk to the professor. It may be difficult to keep him on one subject for long, but oh, it does him such a world of good to speak with old friends. Should you need my assistance, I will be in the backyard. Professor? Uncle James, you are back. It is I, Professor, Johann Kaufmann. Where is father? Where has he been taken? He suffers from some kind of memory loss. Yes, I'm afraid he will not tell us much in this state. If we could but stimulate his memories. Just a second, I'm looking something up here. Alright, let me... Maybe then he could tell us of his research. Something to unravel the mystery of the playwright. Is that going to do anything? Perhaps. There are a few other options in any case. Let us try. Alright, let me see. Here's where we are. Whoa. Something weird. Okay, here we go. Alright, I think I'm where I need to be. Alright. Why don't you explore the manor? There may be some object we can use to jog the professor's memory. Meanwhile, I will try to talk to him about the time we researched together. That could also help him remember. A large wardrobe of engraved wood. Remember those times? We could almost no sleep at all. Please, Professor, talk to me. Locked. It's locked. A sign on the door reads, Attic. A painting of the ocean at the end of the afternoon. There's a figure in black on the beach, but its face is shrouded by a hood. An oil painting. It shows an obscure medieval scene. An old stone tower is depicted in the painting. Thorn vines have slithered across the entrance, forming a swarming blockade that almost seems to come alive when stared at for too long. Alright, so this is the restroom. Though I see myself in the mirror, my reflection is strangely distorted. A large porcelain tub, its hefty weight supported on 4 blackened iron feet. A thin ring of damp residue around its interior suggests recent use. A common radiator. Gilded pipe. It runs from the floor to the ceiling. Would it be gilded or just brassed? Of course, it won't open. Downstairs we go. A porcelain jar containing some dried branches. A portrait of Professor Wright. His appearance was quite different back then. An imposing, inquisitive figure. A sea landscape. I got a bug bite on my wrist. I don't like it. A bread oven. Various ingredients. The door's locked shut. A small sign reads basement. So the attic and the basement are sealed off at the moment. Glass jars filled with spices and pickled food. And I'm guessing the oven also has a thing. Cast iron wood stove. Gilded pipe. It runs from the ground to the corridor. So I'm guessing we have to run the pipe. Run something through the pipe since it keeps talking about it. It is locked. Of course. Gilded pipe. It runs from the room at the end of the corridor to the room upstairs. Okay, let's go in here then. Oh, this is outside. There's a strange ornament on the wall. I think I can move it. Oh. Well, what if I put it on the rook symbol now? Does that open different rooms? May I ask you something, Miss Oakwood? Of course, Doctor. How did the professor become afflicted? The ailment runs in his family. Dr. Wright suffers from it, as did his father and grandmother before him. It is truly a terrible thing. And to think, all these years Mr. Wright knew that it would become of him. May God have pity on his poor soul. This ailment that runs in Professor Wright's family, do you know what its symptoms are? Well, I can't speak for those very long words physicians use. But I can tell you what I see in him. Professor Wright hardly remembers a thing from the last 40 years. It's like he's a child again. With God's mercy, it is now gone so far that it torments him no longer. So would it be like Alzheimer's? I will leave you to your work. Thank you for your assistance. Have a good day, Dr. Wakefield. Thick layer of ice covers the pool of water. Well, that's not any different. Is anything here different? No. Man. I don't like it. Okay, so that didn't do anything to those. An engraving on paper. The script is from a language unknown to me. I literally have not found anything to pick up at all. Oh wait, here's a whole new room. Professor Wright has an eclectic collection. From old adventure novels to treatises on occult sciences. Some of these titles, I believe, have been forbidden by the Crown. A tin soldier. It looks to have been painted by hand. It commemorates some military campaign I have not heard of. Well, it's mine now! Could it hold some special significance to Professor Wright? Perhaps it will help stimulate his memories. A painting of the cliffs of this region. Fire burns fiercely, burning the air thick and heavy in the room. Man! A globe. The surface is extraordinarily detailed. Judging by the strange shape of the continents, it must derive from a fictional work or some prehistoric era. Wait, I can like push them? Okay, well, maybe if I... It's locked. I can hear the racket of many birds on the other side. So is it an aviary, or is it a place where he keeps all of his crows? This tin soldier appears to commemorate a military campaign. Perhaps it could jog the professor's memories? Yes, I think this could work, mein Freund. Why don't you show it to him? Please, Professor, talk to me. Do you recognize this, Professor Wright? Sergeant Downing was sent to the front. The man that returned was not Sergeant Downing. My dearest visitor, you will know where to look. Oh, what a time we will have. Your visitor? What do you mean, Professor? He will have seen the map, and he will know the Book of Travels. The Book of Travels? Yes, yes. He will work it out. But it must not be too easy. But he will find the prize, I am sure. Prize? What on earth is he talking about, Kaufman? Something concealed. Something precious. In his adult state, could he have hidden away parts of his research? Hmm. He was always a proud man. He would not easily have forgotten his most groundbreaking work. A sense of its grave importance, at least, would have remained. In his confusion, perhaps he has holed it away somewhere for his dearest visitor to find. Why don't you explore the manor? Perhaps we can relate to these, or perhaps something will relate to these latest ramblings. Meanwhile, I will continue my endeavors to revive his memory through conversation. Now I wonder, what if I had stayed? Let's talk to the lady again. Professor Wright mentioned something. The Book of Travels? Do you know what that might be? Why, yes, Doctor. I know that story well, I do indeed. He often asks me to read it to him. The book should be in the library. All right, well then let us go to the library and find this particular book called The Book of Travels. There's a large volume here, quite worn. It's an illustrated edition of The Travels of Marco Polo. Perhaps this is the Book of Travels Professor Wright mentioned? There's a mark on one of the pages. We began our journey by crossing the unforgiving desert, always facing the sun. At last we arrived to the merciful sight of the great ocean. We followed the coast north, in dear hope of reaching our home soon. So desert, headed towards the sun, coast, north. It was not to be. The king of the land we traversed had declared war on the great Khan. So we were forced to return as we had come. We never set foot in that bloody land again. We knew there was a port just a few miles south, where we could find a boat. Our sea voyage was short, as our sails billowed with the powerful southern winds. We reached the most eastern cape, and landed there, our backs to the sea. We marched forth, and soon reached home. Crossing the unforgiven desert, always facing the sun. Merciful sight of the great ocean. Follow the coast north. King of the land we traversed had declared war on the great Khan, so we were forced to return as we had come. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, da, 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 da. This one's really confusing.